Good morning, children. Welcome back to English class. Today we will be continuing with part 3, lesson number 7, Stepping Out, written by Charles Dickens. Now, as we know, students, we have already completed part 1 and part 2. However, we have yet not come to the end or to the climax of the story. And yes, we found the story very interesting and very exciting. Okay, so now we will be continuing with part 3 of this particular lesson. So now, children, we will quickly go through the main 3 characters of our story. As we know, the first main character is Oliver Twist, then it's Artful Dodger, and then it's Charlie Bates. So now I will quickly take you through one more picture. So in part 2, we had come across a storyline where we had actually stopped the story where we have seen that the Dodger and Charlie Bates, they steal a handkerchief of an old gentleman who is standing near the bookstall. So now when the old gentleman finds his handkerchief missing, he turns around and sees Oliver running away in fright. Now thinking that he is the thief, even the old gentleman runs away behind him. Now other people from the street, they also join the chase and they grab Oliver and bring him before the police officer. So now children, now we are going to read ahead the lesson and we will understand what exactly the climax of the story was. So come on, we will start the reading of the lesson. "Don't hurt him," said the old gentleman compassionately. So children, over here, compassionately means showing sympathy or showing concern. So yes, as we know, old gentleman was showing a lot of concern towards Oliver. So he said, "Please don't hurt him." "Oh no, I won't hurt him," replied the officer, tearing Oliver's jacket half off his back. So officer said, "Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt him." But yes, forcefully he actually, in a very angry way, he holded Oliver's jacket and he holded him back. In proof thereof, that means thinking that yes, he is the main suspect, that means he is the thief. He said, "Come, I know you. It won't do. Will you stand upon your legs?" So yes, he told him, "I know who you are. So I am not going to leave you. So that means it won't do. So will you stand upon your legs?" So let's see what happens. Oliver could hardly stand, made a shift to raise himself on his feet. So as we know, students, that Oliver was completely in pain. So he could hardly stand on his feet and was at once lugged along the street by the jacket collar. That means he forcefully carried his jacket collar, which was lying on the street at a rapid pace. That means slowly, he was putting single step and he was hardly walking and he could pick up his jacket, and this shows that how much pain he was going through. The gentleman walked on with them by the officer's side. So yes, the old gentleman, Oliver, and the police officer, they walk away and gentleman goes along with them. So many of the crowd got a little ahead and stared back at Oliver from time to time. So as we know, the crowd goes little ahead and keeps staring at Oliver from time to time. The boys shouted in triumph and on they went. That means the boys were shouting in excitement and they went. So now children, over here the story is been stopped. But actually in the novel, the name of the gentleman is mentioned as Mr. Brownlow. Yes, the name of the gentleman is Mr. Brownlow. Now, as we know, Oliver was being caught by the police officer thinking that he has stolen the handkerchief. And policeman brings him to the court and he was accused of pickpocketing. So now in the court, Mr. Brownlow meets Oliver and he saves him from jail. This is what the story is all about. So Oliver later lives with Mr. Brownlow for a very long time and leads a very beautiful life. Yes, so this is the end of the story as per the novel. But in your lesson, actually the lesson has been stopped here, stating that the gentleman, Oliver, and the police officer, they left from that particular place. So assuming that the three of them left for the police station. Alright. So now children, what I would suggest to you is you can also read the novel, because this is just one part of the story of the novel. And there is more story about Oliver Twist. So yes, it is a very exciting and interesting story. So you can go ahead and read the story as well. Value points means the summary of this lesson. So make sure, children, that you are going to read all these points so that you will get the idea or the base of the story. So this is the slide 1 for the value points. This is another slide for the value points. So you have to read all these points and make sure that you note it down somewhere. And this is the third slide for the value point. So now children, as normally we do, is we do one example of reference to the context. So now we will do one example, and the first one is the 3 boys sallied out. Okay, so this is the statement which we have done in part 1. So now what is the question? The question is, who were the 3 boys? As we know the answer, the 3 boys were Oliver, Charlie Bates, and Artful Dodger. Yes. Now question number 2, what was unique about their manner? That means what was unique about their behavior? So yes, children, we know that they were very casual in their behavior. So let us see how to write the answer. They looked so languorous. That means they looked very inactive and up to no good as they walked, that Oliver thought they were going to deceive Fagin by not working at all. That means they were so casual that Oliver thought that they are actually not going to work at all and they are actually going to deceive Fagin. Yes. Now point number 3. Who gave them permission to sally out? Fagin gave them permission to sally out. So now children, we will be doing one wonderful activity which is taken from your story only. It refers to particular manner of walking. Yes, this activity refers to particular manner of walking. So let us go through few words. Alright, our first word is saunter. Yes, the word is saunter. So the meaning of saunter is, children, walking slow. Yes, it's walking slow. So we can frame a sentence from this particular word. So let us frame a sentence. Let's go for a saunter along the river. Let's go for a saunter along the river. Yes. Now your second word is scudding. Yes, it is scudding. What I mean by scudding is move fast in a straight line. Move fast in a straight line. So yes, we can frame a sentence. We watched the clouds scudding around the sky. We watched the cloud scudding around the sky. Now, number 3. Chase. Yes, what do you mean by chase, children? Chase means to catch up. Now, we can frame a sentence. The police were trying to chase down all possible clues to the murder. The police were trying to chase down all possible clues to the murder. Now, the next one is lugged. Yes. Now, as we know, the meaning of lugged means to drag. So, yes, we can frame a sentence. She lugged her suitcase down the stairs. She lugged her suitcase down the stairs. So now children, yes, quickly we will do the revision of all these 4 words. Saunter means walking slow. Scudding means moving fast in a straight line. Chase means to catch up. And lugged means drag. So now children, what I would suggest to you is you have to make your own sentences for these words. You are not supposed to take help from your parents. Let me see how you can make the words. Make sure that you note down these words in one of your rough book or maybe one of your assignment sheet, and make sure that you are framing your own sentence. All right. Now children, we have one more activity for you with a lot of fun. So let us go ahead and do one more activity. So now children, we will go through more new words based on walking, manner of walking. So the first one is amble. Amble means walk leisurely. Yes, amble means walk leisurely. Parade. Parade means march in procession. March in procession. Stagger. Stagger means walk with difficulty. Walk with difficulty. Strut. Strut means walk showing off. Walk showing off. Yes, I will repeat all these four words again. Amble means walk leisurely. Parade, march in procession. Stagger, walk with difficulty. And strut, that means walk showing off. Trudge. More new words. Trudge, that means walk heavily as through sand. That means walking very heavily. Next one, march. Walk like a soldier. Yes, march, walk like a soldier. Patrol means walk around to check safety. Walk around to check safety. Stride means walk taking long steps. Walk taking long steps. I repeat all these four words again. Trudge, that means walk heavily as through sand. March, walk like a soldier. Patrol, walk around to check safety. Stride, walk taking long steps. So yes children, as we have gone through a lot of words which are related to manners of walking. So now what I would suggest you is, I have given you total 8 new words with regards to manner of walking. So now you can actually make your own sentences, alright? You can frame your own sentences based on that. And you can practice these words. Now children, before we could go ahead, let us quickly read the main words from this lesson. Yes, the main words are, the first one is cove. Yes, cove means an old-fashioned term which is used for a man. So yes, they have used this word for the gentleman, right? Now sauntering. Sauntering means walking in a very slow and relaxed way. So as we know that these three friends like Oliver, Artful Dodger and Charlie Bates, they were walking in a very sauntering manner. That means walking in a very slow and relaxed manner. Cocked. Cocked means angled. Yes. So Artful Dodger has a habit of wearing a hat which has been cocked. Cocked, that means angled in a very different style. Sallied out. Sallied out, that means went out in order to do something. So yes, these three friends, they went out together for doing some work. Okay. Now the next is scudding. Scudding means moving quickly. Yes, moving quickly. Depredator. Depredator means one who takes away something unfairly. One who takes away something unfairly. Jostling. Jostling means pushing or knocking against a crowd to get away. Jostling means pushing or knocking away against a crowd to get away. Lubberly. Yes, it's a big and clumsy. So we came across a person who was a lubberly person. So that means big and clumsy person, right? Yes. So now dear children, we are done with part 3 of lesson number 7, Stepping Out, written by Charles Dickens. So now part 1, 2 and 3 we have already completed, and as we know, the storyline of this particular lesson is excellent and wonderful. So now children, like a good children, you are going to read this entire lesson thoroughly and make sure that you are going to write the important points as well as the important words which have been discussed by your teacher. Now, right children, so take care. Bye bye.